The main jewel of The Apprentice is
Sebastian Stan. Man, you're looking good.
Of course, I already knew how good of an actor he is, but this is the second biopic with him that I watched, and in my opinion, he did a way more fascinating job in The Apprentice than in Pam and Tommy. The Apprentice shows Donald Trump's early years in New York back when the city was going through a tough time. It was dirty, crime-ridden, and facing serious financial problems. But Trump saw an opportunity to build his empire, and the movie shows how he rose from a young businessman to the figure we all know today. At first glance, this film has everything to be good. The mockumentary style seems like a perfect choice for a biopic about Donald Trump. The color grading and the 80s camera noise recreate the mood of the time perfectly. The idea itself is interesting, but to be honest, the movie is not more than decent. I think it lacks suspense and dynamics. There is no real tension. I realize it's a real story of a man we already know, but that's not an excuse, as other similar films manage to be gripping. Trump faces problems with his family, clashes with the mayor of New York, but it doesn't really work for drama purposes, since you don't feel like the stakes are high. Even though I wanted to learn more about Donald Trump's story, I kept getting distracted and ended up finishing the film in 2 days. But is the film favoring Trump or demonizing him? The movie came out right before the elections, and from what I've heard, the point was to highlight Trump's bad sides. If that was the goal, I'd say it failed. To me, it feels like the film just tells his story and leaves the judgment to us. Surely it does make some assumptions, like suggesting Trump was violent towards his first wife, Ivana, a claim that hasn't been confirmed to this day. But honestly, all biopics take liberties with unsolved facts. Even though the film shows Trump's transformation into a self-confident, aggressive figure in business and negotiations, I don't think it will repel people who already support him. First, they already know this about him, and second, some people actually admire that attitude. More than that, the film shows Trump as someone who truly loves New York and even really cares about the United States. Like, he's willing to take a risk to build a luxurious hotel in a struggling area. His actions may have caused difficulties for some people, but it doesn't seem like that was his main goal. I mean, a bad neighborhood is still a bad neighborhood, and building a hotel like that can attract tourists and investments, improving the area. After all, does anyone really want to go back to the New York of the early 80s with all its crime? Probably not. I think the filmmakers could have focused on darker parts of Trump's life, like his connection to the Epstein case. But they might have decided not to, since none of the legal cases ended with a conviction, or maybe they just didn't want to portray him negatively from the start. But the real question is, how did Sebastian Stan become Donald Trump? Seriously, I kept wondering if he really looks and acts that much like Trump, or if it's just because he nailed the mannerisms so perfectly. The facial expressions are spot on, even the way he moves and runs. He did a fantastic job. Maybe with a bit more facial prosthetics and makeup, the transformation would have been even more striking. Even in the emotional scenes like the one where he's mourning his brother, he doesn't lose Trump's face. It's incredible. Jeremy Strong, who plays Ron Coy, does an amazing job too. Con was a very controversial person, but you end up feeling sorry for him. Sure, he was aggressive as a lawyer, but he was also deeply loyal to Trump, and Jeremy Strong shows the full range of his emotions, using every second of his screen time to the max. The interaction also deserves mentioning. The chemistry between two characters is one of the most engaging parts of the film. Both Trump and Con change throughout the movie, and Sebastian Stan and Jeremy Strong deliver phenomenal performances that evolve with their characters. It's no surprise that both are nominated for Oscars, and I'll definitely be rooting for them. Just imagine being a Romanian kid having to assimilate in a completely different country and master a foreign language, and then making it all the way to an Oscar nomination for portraying an American president. Not only is it a huge success for Sebastian himself, but also a beacon of hope for all other immigrant kids with ambitious dreams, dreams that are twice as hard to achieve for them as for everyone else. Don't forget to check out my other reviews of Oscar-nominated movies, most of them are already here, and subscribe for more coming soon.